Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So, got a lot of questions about the Nikon bridge cameras, quick settings. I want to give you 5 to 8 minutes of just 16 settings that I use in the camera to get the results, because some of the other videos have gone on for 18, 20 minutes. So let's get started here. First things first, let's reset your camera to reset all settings. Get everything out of there. You might have changed something. It might mess some things up. Just forget it. We're going to start with some of the things that I do. Reset everything. You're good to go. Second thing is you want to turn off your noise reduction or turn it down. Turn it down to the lowest setting. We know that that kills animal detail, feather detail, all that stuff. Yes, there's a little bit noise, but the thing is we're using ISO 100 to 200, so noise is not an issue. So we can get that, we can get a little bit better detail, make that lens shine. Third thing is we're going to turn off the focus assist lights. These focus assist lights here, turn that off, because that turns red or white and it spooks birds, animals, everything. I've seen it firsthand. I've been burnt by it. Then I go in and turn it off, because as soon as I start focusing, the bird jets. You'll see it. Turn it off. What you want to do, the fourth thing, is turn off any sounds. Same thing with startling birds. You want to turn off your focus beep, your shutter sounds, anything like that that makes any noise emanating from the camera. Turn off. It spooks birds, believe it or not. I've been burned on it. Other people will argue, no, it doesn't, but just telling you, that's off on my camera. Spot metering. So turn on spot metering. So I use a little spot meter or the little thing. You can use matrix, but if you're shooting bright birds, white birds or something like that, it's better to be closer to the really highest, brightest part of the bird and use that to go on. So just one of the things, tips I do right there. You want to turn on spot focus. So I use the littlest, the tiniest spot focus I can find, and I get it right on the bird's eyes, if he's sideways, or right in the forehead, something like that, because the matrix and all this other kind of, I'm not a big fan of some of this focus systems they got out there. It just doesn't seem to work as well for animals as it does humans. So I basically go spot focus and adjust. I'll generally put the spot focus in 2 parts of upper third, 2/3 to the left or right, and then nail the eye and then recompose just a little bit versus going with the center focus spot. So you can adjust that just to know that's what you want to do. Natural image setting. So I don't go with vivid, mute, any of that, black and, well, sometimes black and white, but most of it is just natural settings. And then also you want to turn it to superfine, high JPEG mode or RAW. Now, I'll remind you, the noise reduction can be baked into the raw file. It's not supposed to, but on some of this, I have heard it's been that way. So I have a tendency to shoot JPEG as well. There's a lot of reasons for that, but shoot JPEG and superfine, high, whatever you want to do, you'll be good to go. Focus lock and continuous shooting. Okay, so you want to turn off your continuous shooting, as I mentioned, but also you want to turn on continuous shooting, which is this, the continuous button. So things happen here. Someone gets excited, they've been waiting a few hours, and the first thing they do is they punch that camera. Well, that first image is garbage. So I've seen them doing this. They'll punch, garbage, 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 right? So what you want to do is slowly lean into the button. But the other thing you want to try to do is just once you nail it, let's say a bird's sitting there and you just want to get all these different photos, just hammer on the trigger and just hold it down. You'll get them in focus, some of them. And that's always a really good trick. I use low to medium on that because the buffer is so small on these cameras. I think you'll get it. That definitely helps. So aperture priority mode is what I shoot. A for always. You want to shoot at the widest aperture or largest aperture to be able to get that shutter speed up or the ISO down. Again, we'll talk about ISO settings, but the shutter speed, you want to do everything. I don't trust automatic mode because a lot of times it goes off the reciprocal of your focal length. Now these cameras are good, but they're trying to figure it out for the average user. It's going to give you some average shots. If you know how to use the camera, override the computer, aperture mode, always set it to the largest one, get that shutter speed up, or we're going to bump that ISO down. So active D-lighting. So we're going to turn off active D-lighting. I think it's on normal as a default setting. Just get rid of it. I do not like it. I do not like what it does to the images. It makes them a little flat. It kind of messes with things. It tries to make it a little HDR or do something weird. Not my cup of tea. And it modifies the JPEG or what have you. So exposure, I always shoot at a -0.3 or a -0.7 exposure no matter what, because these little sensors always measure hot. And if you get anything slightly contrasted, guess what? You blow out your highlights. Always shoot it a little less hot, -0.3, -0.7. Again, that allows us to get the shutter speed up for a little bit better image, or the ISO to come back down. Focus peaking, you can turn focus peaking on. Sometimes I use it, sometimes I do a manual focus. That's up to you. Vibration reduction. Out of the camera, I just use the active. I don't do anything special, just shoot active and keep it there, because if you start messing with your vibration reduction, guess what? It goes. You'll forget about it. Maybe it's the tripod one that I'm using. Maybe it's this one, or maybe it will adjust. Just set it to active. You're good to go. And manually set ISO to 100, 200, or 400. So here is the deal. All this stuff we've been talking about is to get that ISO down as far as you can. If you go above 400, I've shot at 800 and 1600. It's not the greatest. It's really noisy. No matter what you try to do, it's possible. But what you're wanting is great feather detail, great colors, nothing washed out. And so if you do these things, shooting at the largest aperture, shooting at slower than normal shutter speeds, and you're able to do that kind of stuff, that allows you to kick the ISO way down and get better detail. And that's it. That's 95% of the settings that I do. Hopefully this helps. I know it's like 7 minutes in, but we nailed this instead of 20 minutes. And if you guys got any questions, I'll answer them down below. And hit that like button if you like this kind of stuff. See you next week.